So here are three short stories about gals going to the internet to whine and complain, look for pity after their boyfriends and fiancés abruptly dumped them upon finding out the truth about their past, finding out that they used to be a Tinderella, or a carousel rider as we call them, or had ridiculously high body counts, or all sorts of things like that. The truth comes out and these guys are like, see ya, I'm out of here. And I thought it'd be good to go over these, although short, making the point that more and more guys are behaving in this manner, realizing I'm not going to settle for things I might have settled for 5 years ago, you know. And this is so frequent nowadays that more and more, thanks to social media and dating apps and how easy it is and accessible to be with guys, that more and more younger gals have quite the history. And again, throw in feminism saying it's empowering, and guys are just like, nope, I'd rather be alone than deal with that. And the first short story is titled, My Boyfriend of 2 years Broke Up With Me Because I Slept Around on Tinder Before Meeting Him. She says, I am devastated right now. My boyfriend and I have been together for 2 years, and he just broke up with me out of nowhere. We had no discussion, no fight, just gone. He found out that prior to me meeting him, I actually slept with a lot of guys on Tinder. Well, that would do it. Who wants to... Yeah, my girlfriend was a Tinderella. Oh, great. She says, for 99% of my life, I was never that way. Sure, sweetheart. The whole club bar lifestyle never appealed to me. But a friend of mine downloaded this dating app called Tinder, and she was telling me how she was able to meet guys that would have never given her the time of day in real life. Well, there's probably truth to that. Because, let's be honest, guys are pigs, most of us, and they would pretty much nail anything as long as it's dark out, they don't have to really see her too well, and she's taking a shower in the last 24 hours, and their buddies don't see it. Right here. I gave it a shot, and initially it was a lot of fun. Guys that were the so-called prom kings, muscular, big you-know-whats, all were giving me attention I never had before. I did it for a while. In total, I slept with 11 guys. And I realized I didn't just want to be an F-buddy for the rest of my life, so I stopped. Okay, how many people believe the number is 11? We all know it's a fraction of what usually is given there. I ended up meeting my boyfriend then at my friend's house party when we were having a Cherokee night. What the hell is that? But okay. And since then, we've been close, and I have no desire for leaving him or cheating. I told a friend of mine about my Tinder experiences, and she told her boyfriend. And somehow ended up getting back to my boyfriend, and after that, he just lost it. Well, there you go. Bros before hoes, and that guy told him. And of course he lost it, because he doesn't want his girlfriend to be a Tinderella. And maybe this is, did she tell him that that number was 11? Probably he's thinking 100, but regardless, I didn't want a Tinderella. He asked me if it was true, and I didn't get a chance to explain myself. I can explain! And he just left me. He told me he doesn't want to see me again, that I am disgusting and used up, and that the only a desperate idiot would ever want to take me seriously, or want me seriously. I've been so hurt by his words, I have no idea what to do. I've tried to get him back, but his heart seems set. Please help me. See? Just like that. Now, here's the thing. Clearly, she neglected to mention all that before they got together, and that's her mistake. Now, he may have been like, nope, not interested, but at least she would have had some integrity and told him, yeah, before we got together, I had a phase, I was going through a hard time, and I was on Tinder, and, maybe, depending how she worded it, probably she would have lied, it would have been a different outcome. But by him being blindsided by this, whoosh, gone. Next one. Says here, my boyfriend of 2 years broke up with me over my past. She says, I met Jason after graduating from college for a work function. We got along well and decided to go out our first night that we met. Ever since then, we've mostly been going well, and we've had similar career interests, similar hobbies, and our SCX life is good. One early issue in our relationship is when we got to talk about past partners. In retrospect, I wish I never got onto this topic, but it was after a party game of sorts with some friends, and we got to talk about this topic, which we never discussed before. Again, started the relationship but didn't talk about these details that are important to guys. We were both kind of drunk, and we explicitly talked about our body count. He mentioned that he was always kind of a relationship guy, and then told he'd been with 3 girls before me. I said that my number was 28, including a few hookups and people I casually dated. 28, including a few hookups and people so are you trying to believe she had like 20 serious relationships? I highly doubt that. Again, are we believing the 28? That's probably a fraction of what the real number was. I mean, it is what it is. He seemed to kind of laugh it off at the time and chilled, but I could tell it kind of bothered him. You think? The next morning, I kind of felt terrible, to be honest, and tried to talk to him about it. But he said that he didn't want to talk about it and the past didn't matter. Bullshit. Sounds like he's kind of passive-aggressive, like he let it go because he's at the party with her, but pretty soon, Well, a few days ago, we had a party, and one of the guys I hooked up with back in the day was there. That's the problem when you have a girlfriend that's hooked up with so many dudes. If it's in that area, you're going to run into him. Somehow he and a friend of mine got friendly, and they came to chat with me and Jason. At one point, my drunk friend asked Jason if he had any jealousy about my past experience with him. What a fucking douchebag. That guy did that on purpose. Now, Jason literally had no idea that I had been with this guy. The situation turned really awkward, but Jason just kind of brushed it off. See, he's passive-aggressive. But the next couple of days, I could tell he was really bothered. I tried talking to him, but he just didn't engage. A day later, when I came home, he said he wanted to talk about us. He basically broke things off with me and said he just didn't feel like we were compatible. He admitted that my history was the main issue and that he thought he could get past it, but in the end, he could not. There's no way he could get past it. And that guy just showing up, hey, bro, you cool with me banging your chick? She was sucking my you-know-what. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, that's going to do something to a guy. I asked him if there was anything I could try to do to convince him to give us a chance. That's when he's probably like, well, try not sucking a you-know-what on your way through the parking lot, like Dante and Clerks. And he said it's probably nobody's fault, but he just couldn't do it. Honestly, I thought we might get married one day, have kids, the whole 9 yards, so this really made me feel awful. I guess my question is, do you think there's any way this situation is salvageable? Otherwise, how can I try to avoid the issue from destroying future relationships? No, the situation isn't salvageable. Leave the guy alone, and for future relationships, be upfront with the guy right away. I mean, you're not going to talk about, if you're meeting for a coffee at fucking Starbucks or Dunkin', or a drink at Cheesecake Factory, maybe that's not the first conversation, but I would say by the second or third date, she's, just so you know, and is being upfront with the guy. And probably a lot will say, okay, check please, and run out of there like their ass is on fire. But at least, maybe she'll meet a guy just like her and won't care. I mean, seriously. But don't just pretend it never happened, because it's going to come out. And the last story, the big one. Well, I just realized, guys, I made a mistake, and I'm dealing with this live. Turns out that I didn't copy the third story down. We only got 2. I copied that story twice, so I can't do that again. Well, anyhow, guys, forgive me for my mistake. I'll not do it again. But anyhow, that's 2 stories making the point that, guys aren't tolerating this crap anymore, and you don't have to, okay? The thing is, guys, we're expected to just tolerate and not have any standards, any requirements, anything like that. And what we do with a bad guy. Because, darn well, gals will have listed requirements that can go as long as a scroll, And that's crazy. If women are allowed to be picky and have standards, and what they call standards, so can guys. And one of the biggest one for guys out there is they don't want their girlfriend or potentially future wife to be, the Village Bicycle, a Tinderella, all that. No, thank you. More guys realizing I'd rather be alone than that. And again, that guy Jason, they go to a party together, and a guy walks over to her and tells him, you okay with that we used to hook up? How humiliating that'd be, how disgusting and all that. And again, the greater the number, the more likely that has happened. And that's going to be happening more and more in this Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0 world, where it's so easy for people to connect, whether it be the dating apps, the hookup apps, social media, whatever. And again, nowadays, with gals getting such easy attention from guys around the world 24/7, this isn't just the really obvious good-looking ones, the 8, 9s, and 10s. This is gals that are 5s, 6s, sometimes 4s that get attention anyway, and there you go. So anyway, guys, there you go. The gals better behave themselves nowadays, because this is going to be them.